This was the video in the background. This was the Dimensions of Souls, this first one here. Is in the background of my why I don't use DF hack video rendering. Like it's building in the background. We could go explore that. Dude, I would love to do that. That would be so fucking cool. I would love to be sponsored by Audible. If Audible wanted to sponsor me, that'd be great. I could read that introduction guide to Dwarf Fortress. Yeah, let's go into this world a little bit. Let's take a peek. We'll do like an hour or so of legends and stuff. Every big YouTuber and their mom gets a sponsorship. I'm not a big YouTuber, and I'm also not your mom. So maybe when I have a couple 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, I'll get approached. Audible doesn't really sponsor small fish. They sponsor big guns, big podcasts. Throw lots of money. They don't really sponsor the small guys. So you do need to remember, like, a lot of those bigger guys that you see getting those big company sponsorships are a lot bigger. So let's start off by exploring this world a little bit. So this world that we're looking at right now in Legends is actually the world that I generated for the background of my Why I Don't Use DF Hack and Dwarf Therapist video. It's there. You can actually go download it. It's on my Google Drive. If you go to my YouTube channel, you find that video. You can download this world for yourself if you want to peek around in it. You finished it in 9 hours? How many of the secrets did you find? I mean, it took me 22 hours, so... Also, maybe I just play games slower. Are they like 10%? Yeah, that's probably it. I mean, I found like 90% of the secrets or something. I spent a lot of time in every level backtracking and looking around at everything. Anyway. So this is kind of our history. There's a island of kobolds. Huh. There's like an undisturbed island of kobolds down there. Okay, second one. We've been at this for... it was almost an hour in between those two. Hopefully they don't get more frequent. Fofos Harlmer. Definitely kobold. But yeah, kobolds who'd never get to steal anything. The Russet Realm. I wonder what race this is. The Tight Helm. We've got the Spider of Controllers, a bunch of goblins. And then elves spawning over here, and dwarves in the middle. Oh, these are humans up here, duh. Whoa! I hit escape twice by mistake. Jump back in there. Yeah, I'm way too, like, itchy on the escape button in Dwarf Fort. I've always been that way. Right, let's go back to historical maps. Wonder if they ever get off that island. So, shortly after, the branded plagues popped up here. So it's like, dwarves are there, but they're getting, like, taken over by the branded plagues. And then the dwarves seem to just kind of have a hard time beyond this. Hey, Zinnius. Hello again. So yeah, if the fire alarm is going off periodically, it's because my building is doing fire alarm testing. I swear to God, I'm not in trouble. But yeah, no, this world gets kind of wrecked. So there are a good amount of dwarves everywhere, but it's just bloody chaos in the background. So I'm thinking we poke around in Legends for like 30 minutes and find something that looks interesting, and then maybe go settle there as an adventurer and run around a little bit. What happened to them? Good question. We can figure that out in... They seem to have been taken over by humans. Like they were there, and then year 150. Between year 140 and then year 150, the humans just obliterated them. Maybe they did get to steal stuff. Yeah, because the humans are rolling down there at 110, and then it's just boom. With no civs on islands? I think it can be kind of interesting sometimes. But I tend to agree. Well, let's see how we look at the end. At year 550. Like, there's dwarves everywhere, but they're very heavily surrounded by evil. Oh, sure. I don't know. I don't really have a problem with world gen taking a while. It took about 20 minutes to generate this world, so... It's not something I really worry about too much. Alright, let's see what we can find. Well, first off, we should go figure out what happened to those poor kobolds. I really hope that's not too bad on your guys' end. Krofofoshmalur, a kobold civilization of the dimension of souls. They constructed Geludgustukus in Crowdcutched. In the early spring of 2, the Hag of the Night. Hosep. Birdshades, the Skulls of Murk, became the enemy of them. They fought with a giant dingo. They discovered a Jabberer. Interesting. Do kobolds dig? Serious question. Is your focused on something? I don't want to blow people's ears out, you know? But like, what the hell? In the year 14, they discovered a Jabberer. How the heck did the Jabberer get to the surface? Yeah, but they're not super deep cave systems though, right? Interesting. Maybe they did dig down. Blind Cave Ogre became the enemy. Cave Ogre. Jabberer became the enemy. And then the Voracious Cave Crawler became the enemy. And then, like, they just kind of disappear. Like, they just kind of... I mean, no, they're still there, actually. The humans just settled over top of them, I guess. Okay. I mean, I guess they're just still there. The Tight Helm, Dwarven Civilization. We also have the Orbs of Righteousness. Might actually have to call off the stream. Fuck. Come on, guys. You don't have to make them go off that often. This is frustrating. If I do have to call off the stream today, I'll also have to call off the stream tomorrow. Because they're doing this again tomorrow. Oh yeah, everything's fine, Silvertongue. The problem is, my building is doing fire alarm tests. And normally they do them one floor at a time, 1 month at a time, right? So I only really get them once or twice a year. And it's usually the first Wednesday of the month, so the fire alarm will go off once or twice an hour for about an hour and a half. Once or twice, and then it'll be done. But because of COVID, they haven't been able to do them since January. So they're just doing them all for the whole year today and tomorrow for all of the floors. So from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m., the fire alarm is going to go off intermittently at unpredictable intervals. So it's either going to happen a lot or not a lot. And I'm sitting here, it's like, okay, if it's like once every 30 minutes, that's fine. But it's gone off twice in the last 5 minutes. So I don't know. And I don't really want to be streaming if the fire alarm's going off constantly, and I don't want to blast your guys' ears. And like, if it's loud enough that it's startling people, like it's just, I shouldn't be streaming really. Sucks. Because streamers gotta get paid, you know? I don't know. I mean, in theory, I could turn my stream on at 4 p.m. and stream into the evening, which is kind of what I was originally planning on doing, but at the same time, it's like, I hear dogs barking like crazy because the fire alarm's going up on the floor above me. I can kind of hear it. I don't know, guys. What are we thinking right now? How bad is it? Thad the Dingo, indeed. I need to look up Thad the Dingo. Was it THAD? There you go. Thank you. Thad Questthorn was a dingo. He was the first of his kind, settled in the Plain of Clubs, and in the early winter of the year 5 became the enemy of the Orbs of Robustness, became the enemy of the Tight Realm, and Thad devoured a cat in the Orbs of Rustness by Delight Boot. In the early winter of the year 5, Thad devoured a blue peahen in the Orbs of Rustness and died of old age in the year 13. Ate a cat and a blue peahen. What do you mean? Add some text to the stream? Oh, text, you mean? Nah, I don't want to ruin the way my stream looks for that. I mean, because it's a named dingo. Because it's a named dingo, there's probably some sort of tales told about it. I'm sure, like, somebody is spinning up stories and old folks' tales about Thad the dingo. Really wish I could save historical figures and legends. Also, how have your streams been, Wild Gear? Seen you up a couple times. The Dwarven civilization, the Tight Helm. Let's see if we can figure out anything interesting. Echoed Links, Fob Echoed Links became the Baroness. General Outpost Liaison. Outpost Liaison might be a neat one to follow, but Cybrek Blushwork. Cybrek Blushwork. Died in year 13. Interesting. Cybrek Blushwork was one of the first of his kind. Became the king of the Tight Realm, and in the early winter of year 1, the Tight Realm held a foot race in Delight Boot as part of the Festival of Artifacts. There were 5 competitors, including Cybrek and Urvad and Craftsfold. Craftsfold was the victor. Cybrek and Irel became, Blade Letters became lovers, and he married Irel. And in the 13, Cybrek fought in the assaults of stabbing in the defense of Vault Crushed. In the late spring of the year 13, Cybrek was struck down by a troll in Vault Crush. The bodies of Cybrek and Stukos Mystery Face were impaled on ashen pikes by the Spider of Controllers in Vault Crust. Worshipped the Ghost of Wisps. It's a good name. To a werebeast. One of my first streamed forts, we died to werecats. Well, what happened to your wife? Irel bald letters. Did I spell that wrong? I did spell it wrong. That has already killed 10 dwarves somehow. I once had a dwarf show up that had 200 something kills, and they were all goblins and elves. I was like, whoa. Alright, so pretty similar. Married Cybrek. In the spring of the year 12, the Spider of Controllers attacked the Tight Helm and the Foggy Dune, and the Goblin at Nexering led the attack. Interesting. We actually have a name now. The defenders were led by Irel. In the late spring, Irel fought. So the king's wife, the queen, actually led the defense against these goblins. Irel fought in the assaults of Stabbing in the defense of Vault Crushed. In late spring, Irel was struck down by the Ogress in Vault Crushed. So she did better than her husband, but not by much. She was horribly mutilated by the Spider of Controllers in Vault Crushed. R.I.P. I had some Bible thumps for the poor king and queen. So what the heck happened to that faction after that fight? Because they lost their king and queen in the year 12. Or 13, rather. The bodies of the dwarf, a whole bunch of bodies were impaled on peachwood pikes. And also ashen pikes. We got a new baron, a new general, and a new king, the dwarf Zan Romance Inks. Romance Inks. Born in year 2, died in 34. Oh, wow. That was a young king. He fought in the Battle of Shoving in the Foggy Dune in the year 14. Shortly after becoming king in the year 14. So how old would this dwarf have been? You know, if they were born in the year 2, they were 12. This was a 12-year-old dwarf. That's a child. He was having childhood friends like years before, like a year before. It does count as an adult. Yeah, they become a peasant at 12. The Child King, Zan. Also, Dubar Splattergorge. That's one hell of a last name. Became lovers. And then they broke up. And then they became lovers. So in the year 15 they became lovers. In the year 18 they broke up. In the year 21 they became lovers again. In the year 23 they got married. Then the Lancers of Parching was offered to Zan of the Tight Helm by Zephron Kulkon. He fought in the Clash of Carnages in the Foggy Dune. And in the early autumn of 30, a goblin Stupib confronted Zan. Zan and Dastot, Lancer praised, cemented a bond of friendship amidst the horror of combat. Zan fought in the Siege of Fierceness in the same year, or 4 years later, in defense of Delightboot, and Zan was struck down by a steam wraith. In Delightboot. A steam wraith. That's like you're not even a young adult at that point as a dwarf. What a sad, sad story. So what about your wife? Or lover, rather. Dubar Splattered Gorge. Female dwarf. also died in 34. Apparently they were childhood friends before they became lovers, actually. I missed that in the last one. So his future wife, actually, in the year 8, they became childhood friends. And was the general of the realm. So born in year 2 as well. Also at 12 became the general of the Tight Realm. They must have just like... Because, you know, this is very early on in a civilization, right? They must have just had no children. Like, they must have had no young dwarves. It must have been like... Because, you know, there's the first of their kind, right? The old dwarves. And they're immediately passing it down to the young guard. So I guess like they'd raise their children from year 2 to kind of take over when they grow up. But because all of the royalty and important dwarves died so quickly, like they just had to make whoever was young their leadership. That must have been what happened. Also, shout outs to this dwarf. In year 2, when this dwarf was a baby, the Minotaur lasted puzzle attacks. The splattered boil fought with Dubar. While defeated, the latter escaped unscathed. So literally, before they turned 1 year old, this baby dwarf fought with a Minotaur and escaped. Overstaying in a burrow? Is the burrow... I mean, I need to look at your gameplay. Is your burrow active? Or are they heading to the burrow with the objects? Because if they were hauling before you set the burrow to active, try deactivating it and reactivating, and usually they'll drop what they're doing if you activate a second time. So just try deactivating it and reactivating it, because they're still trying to complete their jobs, most likely. That's what I would try to do. They go out of the burrow to haul rough gems? Then they must not be in the burrow. I have no idea. I'd need to look at it. That's not something I can just answer. I don't know. So in the year 15 or 14, Dubar also fought in the Battle of Shoving in the Foggy Dune. Dubar and Zan became lovers. Oh, interesting. This must have been why they broke up. After Dubar and Zan became lovers, Zan was the king at this point. Dubar went into the depths of the world and tamed the Jabberers in the depths of the world, returned to Delight Boot, and they broke up 2 years later. And then after breaking up, Dubar went back down underground to the depths of the world and tamed cave crocodiles in the depths and returned. And then they became lovers again and got married. And then after that, it seems like, oh no, they still returned to the depths of the world. The spider controllers attacked the Tight Helm in the Foggy Dune, and the goblin Nexerang Terror Chunks led the attack, and the defenders of Dubar. Dubar fought in the Clash of Carnages in the Foggy Dune. In the year 30, made a journey back down in the year 31, tamed giant rats, returned back to Delight Boot. By the way, this dwarf is the queen at this point. Made the journey back down to the depths of the world, tamed elk birds, and then in the Siege of Fierceness, in the year 34, Dubar was struck down by an iguana fiend. And the bodies of Dubar and others were added to a grisly mound by the branded plagues. In Delight Boot. Delight Boot's a really good name, by the way. Yeah, no, totally. Like, you know, these dwarves certainly lived fast and died hard. They really did. Also, look at all these objects of worship. They also had children, too. Who died within a year. Yeah. Cyril Syrupmouth's one of their children. Died in the year... or actually, I might be covering this with my camera. Was born in the year 34 and died in the year 35. Did they have any children who, like, had a long life? You haven't seen a Grizzly Mound before? You should look at Dwarf Fortress Legends since the most recent update. Yeah, no, none of their children lived more than a year. Their eldest daughter lived 1 year, died in 17. Their eldest son was born in 17 and died in 17. They had a... Okay, your husband, obviously. They had their second eldest son was born in the year 23 and died in the year 35. Probably in the same event. That's sad. Like, that's really sad. What's something I could look up here? I mean, I could look up the goblin. This is a very dead world, too. A very evil dead world. Terror Chunks. Because Terror Chunks was the one that led the attack there. Female goblin. She was one of the first of her kind. In the year 1, she became lovers with Sononob, settled in Birdcurse. I like the name of that. I like the name of that pit. Birdcurse. That's real good. That's real good. Make sure you check how many tickets you have first. Wild Gear. I wonder, Alright, well, let's just roll through this. Became a scout, settled in, they moved a few forts. Became a brewer in Birdcurse. Got married in the year 5. Settled in Hellwounded. Settled in Roast Scourges. Became a ranger at War Scourges and a scout. That's probably how the military career started. Became a constable of the Spider of Controllers. Interesting. In year 11. The Spider attack controllers attacked the Tight Realm in the Foggy Dune. Next ring led the attack, and the defenders were led by the Dwarf Irel. And they were victorious, obviously. They fought in the Scorching Battle of the Foggy Dune. Cemented a bond of friendship with a friend amidst the horror of combat in the year 12. And then let's jump up to the year 14. The Spider of Controllers attacked the Tight Realm in the Foggy Dune, and he led the attack. And the defenders were led by the Dwarf Dubar, where both the king and queen were slain. Fought in a bunch of other battles. Journeyed to the depths of the world in the year 17. Returned to Roast Scourges, and got married again. I'm assuming that your significant other died. Best of luck, Rhinestone. Got divorced in the year 27 after journeying to the depths of the world again in the early 20s. Yeah, seems to just kind of be attacking the Foggy Dune every like 10 years and then journeying to the depths of the world and getting married and having lovers and breaking up. And then shut my camera off for a second here. The Tight Realm held a foot race. Oh, interesting. Fought in the ferocious attack assault on gate lances. Journeyed to the depths of the world, tamed elk birds in the year 72. Returned to Root Scourges. And then in the year 76, the Tight Realm held a foot race and the gate lances as part of the Oily Festival. There were 7 competitors, including our goblin friend. That's interesting. So the Tight Helm is the dwarven civilization that this goblin keeps attacking with his armies. But nice win there, Ryan. But at the same time, then participated in a foot race. In the year 77, the controllers attacked the Twilight of Targets. That sounds like of the Buck of Scholars. That's a long name. The Twilight of Targets of the Buck of Scholars at Crab Sizzles. He led the attack, and the defenses were led by an elf. So they attacked some elves, and he fought in the assaults of Sizzling, and was struck down by a grizzly bear. Why would he participate? Was there some sort of peace? Yeah, exactly. Like this, it was involved in the killing of the king and queen twice, actually. Led the assault on them twice, killing the king and queen twice. How the heck do you get in that foot race? You're not wrong. Zasset sack pondered. We should look up that dwarf, I guess. Zasset sack pondered in 66, because you're right. He did make friends with a dwarf in the year 66. The attacks are sport. Yes, but like you'd think that the dwarves would hold that against him, right? You know, like it's not ritual combat for the dwarves. Yeah, I've heard that. Ryan, I've heard that. Still a ways off, though. All right, what was the name of that goblin? Was Sack Pondered? Or not goblin, dwarf. Sack Pondered. It's a sentence. Sack Pond. Oh, interesting. So, Sack Pondered was a dwarf born in the year 49. She was the youngest daughter of Inul Lance Vaulted, the vile ears and the dispersal, and was immediately abducted by a goblin. Was imprisoned by the afflicted scourge, settled in, and then in the year 57 settled. So born in 59. Was imprisoned in 57, was abducted and imprisoned in 57. Year 60, became a member of the Goblin Society. Man, they were child snatched. Became a brewer and a tavern keeper in Waddlehate. Waddlehate is a really good name. I like that one. Waddlehate, the Goblin town, I guess, or a Goblin pits. They cemented a bond of friend. Zasset started working at the God-forsaken Lemon. Lots of good names in here. The God-forsaken Lemon is the name of the tavern that he was working at. That's real good. Zasset and the Goblin Nexerzung became friends in combat and fought together in the assaults of Sneezing and the Barbus Assault. They fought in the Siege of Screaming. The elf Salor Jumpfine's tongue was torn off. Beat the ever-living shit out of that elf. First finger on his right hand was ripped off. Almost sounds like a torture situation. Because in the year 101, during the barbarous assault on Heartwound, I'm assuming that's an elven place, ripped off fingers. Very dark. Zasset struck down the more elves. Thigh-cut, rope-graved, and Zasset became lovers. Zasset was taken by a Fey Mood in Waddlehate in the year 110. And then went berserk in Waddlehate after failing to create an artifact. Became the enemy of the afflicted scourge, became the enemy of the spider of controllers, and attacked a badger fiend, Sasip Thunder Cobra, the roasted axe of nails, and was struck down by the badger fiend, Thunder Cobra, the roasted axe of nails. So this was a dwarf that got snatched, became friends with goblins, ran the taverns, went into a Fey Mood, and went berserk. Also, Wild Peak, what's up? We got a great band for playing at the Godforsaken Lemon. Popped up on Rimworld for yesterday. Richmond and the Alpha Beavers. Also, I need to know what the Badger Fiend Sasep Thunder Cobra was. Thunder Cobra. Female badger fiend. I think this is a demon. Sasep Thunder Cobra, the roasted axe of nails, was a badger fiend. She was one of the only ones of her kind, an enormous skinless badger twisted into a humanoid form. Has a bloated body and its eyes glow red. Beware its poisonous sting. Sasep was associated with chaos. A demon. Built a thrust a spire slayed up from the underworld, naming it the Assaulted Citadel, and established a gateway between worlds in Waddlehate. So literally, this dwarf was abducted, went nuts because they weren't able to complete an artifact, and tried to murder a demon. Also, yes, his mom was a necromancer. But that's par for the course. There's so many necromancers around. Necromancers aren't inherently evil. We know this. They just like bodies. And it seems like the demon's history is pretty standard. Although, I don't think actually it lived too long. Let's find out what happened to this demon. Demons are just like, oh, created an army, blah, 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 generally. Fought in a war, created an army, fought in a war, made more army. Yeah, before this last update, but I'm not talking about previous updates. Yes. Generally, anonymous. Also, Squug, what up? Oh, also, just as a warning, guys, the fire alarm is going to be, occasionally going off today. Doesn't seem to be going off too frequently. Yeah, seems to still be alive to this day. So, this demon seems to be integrated into Dwarven society. Did you not hear it, Squug? I think that this demon has taken over. Because in the year 544, the Tidehelm held a wrestling competition in Mineparch, and part of the Eastern Festival, the Earthen Festival. Competing was Sasip the Goblin, and the Goblin Cog, and the Goblin Vezzo was the victor. Yeah, no, this demon is competing in wrestling competitions. Like, this demon This demon starts a big old goblin faction. Takes over the Dwarven civilization, as far as I can tell. And is now just a traveling wrestler. I'm pretty certain you can gain a Demon King? Maybe? Worships the ghost of wisps, which a lot of the dwarves seem to worship. It's killed a lot of humans. That elf has a hell of a name. Elslov Kutmov, the diminished labyrinth of controls. How long is this I wonder if I could set. I guess I can't go to Waddlehate, hey, because I'd have to. Dude. Also, became a member of the cult of mucus. Gross. Yeah, he's literally just been a fucking traveling wrestling demon. This is like something out of a kid's show, like a kid's cartoon. Like Adventures of Susap, the wrestling demon king. Somber Bronze, Mineparch. Yeah, these are... Mineparch is a dwarven town. Yeah, no, this demon is fucking traveling to dwarven fortresses and participating in wrestling competitions for like 100 years. Holy shit. Wow. And somebody please clip this. Minus the part where I ask you to clip it. I mean, just as you do, right? Like okay, now down here he's murdering people again. Like he murdered a human, like goes to wrestling show, goes to wrestling show, goes to wrestling show, goes to wrestling show, murders a human. I think that this might just be Dwarf Fortress WWE. It's still going. This is literally it's been going on for hundreds of years. Occasionally murdering a goblin. Okay, hold on. In the year 406, the Tight Helm held a wrestling competition in Mineparch as part of the Earthen Festival. Competing were Susip, the dwarf necromancer, Unil, and the Vile Ears. Susip was the victor, and then he murdered a goblin. Like, a year after, murdered a goblin. I like to think he's murdering his potential, like, he's not winning all of them. Like, this one dwarf necromancer, Ilnul Lance Vaulted, seems to be winning quite a few, too. Yeah, no, like, early on, this dwarf just was winning a lot of them. He's occasionally, like, storing artifacts. Yeah, Susip was the victor a lot in the year 300s. It's like the dwarf Inul Lance Vaulted and then Susep are like trading places as the victor. This dwarven necromancer is fucking wrestling a demon and winning, chat. Wow. This is rad. Murdered a human. I mean, he's doing it like yearly, like every year. This is fucking Dragon Ball. Like, we must go to the tournaments. Like, I'm literally, you know how I'm imagining this in my head, chat? Like Dragon Ball art style, right? But it's like Mr. Satan. No, not Mr. Satan. What's his name? The guy who was at the mahogany table. Just like Death. Is that who he is? I haven't watched Dragon Ball in ages. It's the guy at the beginning of Snake Road, whatever the fuck his name is. It's like the big red dude with horns. Versus like a bunch of like Krillins. That are actually like get wrecked Splatterface. Dude, right? Although they're not killing each other. They might just be arm wrestling. I just want to find what year this started. Because this is a 500-year-old world. And Mineparch was one of the ones that they attacked early. We looked at dwarves that were in Mineparch. Man, he's been like arch nemesis enemies with the dwarf necromancer Inul Lance Vaulted since the beginning too. I mean, I don't want to talk about his power level. Anyways. Also, can I just say Waddle Hate once again? Fantastic name. On May 13th? That's pretty soon. Sorry, this is just way too fucking neat. Didn't even retire. Like, built an army, invaded a few things, and then just started competing in wrestling competitions. I like this demon a whole lot, and is still alive to this day. Yeah, so like first, basically from year 0 to year 13, invaded a couple goblins or dwarven forts, and then began wrestling that dwarven necromancer. And to this day, they're still competing in wrestling competitions.
Did you know
That's an ad.
Kellogg's has many cereals with 1 to 4 grams of sugar?
Did you know that Kellogg's has many cereals with 1 to 4 grams of sugar, chat? Do you guys think this is as neat as I do? Or am I just geeking out on this way too hard? And go to the competition. I don't think you'd see it. So I can't. Okay, so the ones that we'd want to go to. Would either be. I mean, we could try and go to Waddlehate, but I think we'd just get killed if we went to Waddlehate. What was the other? What were the Dwarven ones? As they start competing later down the line. Mine Parch. That's a Dwarven fortress. So Mine Parch. Or what's the other one? Mine Parch or Waddlehate, but we probably can't go to Mine Parch. Let's see if we can go there. Also, this world, chat, is you can just download it underneath the video that I put up about why I don't use DFhack. You can just go download this world if you want to poke around it too, chat. Let's just be a... I mean, we could just be a goblin. Goblin peasant. The tight helm are the ones that keep having the russet realm is the goblins. Also interesting, the demon is part of a dwarven religion. Interesting. I didn't even realize that. Okay. New roof. That's a really funny name for Dwarf Fort. New roof. I mean, I'm sure that's not what it means, but hey guys, we built a new roof. Mine Parch, that one. So yeah, it looks like we're going to Mine Parch. I doubt we'll actually see this. You're a weaver in Mine Parch, a dwarven fortress, and you have never strayed far from home. Our name is Rimtar Vutokothothabladale. Rimtar. Fire weekend. Figure weekend. Yeah, exactly. We'll always have a new roof. Got excited about having a new roof. Yeah, you can select where you spawn. That's as of the last update. Just give me some musicality, skills, some social awareness. Because I'm just going to go stand on a... Actually, sorry about that. I didn't realize I put it all the way up to 20. 10. And some social awareness. As for skills, Or a talented weaver. Bump up that. Let's make us an adequate comedian. Decent judge of intent. Good liar. Negotiator. Oh. Liar. And negotiator. Actually, let's take out the liar and negotiators. And put that into speaker and musician. His hair is extremely long and his nose bridge is concave. His somewhat narrow red eyes are close set, and he is somewhat short and his ears have small lobes. His hair is dark scarlet and his skin is dark green. He's very trusting and greatly pleased by his own looks and accomplishments. He dislikes helping others and he is somewhat cruel. He is bashful and very comfortable with others around him that are different from himself. He does not generally respond to emotional appeals, and he occasionally overindulges. He tends to be a little tight with resources when working on projects, and he can sometimes act without deliberation. He does not easily fall in love, and rarely develops positive sentiments. He enjoys the company of others, and he is quick to form negative views about things. He is quick to anger and could be considered rude. He isn't particularly curious about the world, and he doesn't feel envious of others. He has an active imagination, and he is rarely happy or enthusiastic. He can be a little, he likes a little excitement now and then, and generally finds himself quite hopeful about the future. Doesn't mind wearing something special now and again. Why is loyalty such a dwarf? I mean, is in a dwarven... What? Blech, hiccup place. That makes sense. To be able to read? Nah, it's fine. I'm not going to be reading any books. This ain't going to be a long adventure. Like a second water skin. A little bit more sweet bread. Yeah, that's all we really need. I don't need any pets. Okay, Rimtar. Let's begin our adventure. Let's see what the frame rate in this fort's like. We call our own new roof to live under, where parents can't tell us what to accept, except... I feel like everybody's home is, like, basically new roof. You finally got your equipment together. Such as it is, now it's time for action and adventure. You rush. And in the rush of excitement, you've forgotten where you were going. A foolhardily soul might try to rescue the children that have been kidnapped. Perhaps some of your friends here have ideas. Press question mark for help. Let's see what the frame rate's like in this fort. Pretty bad, it seems. Okay. Pretty bad. Oh, I know. Stone. Well, we've already seen a human and what looks like a goblin. Maybe, Hammerman? Huh. So, a hammer. A mason. Human. Let's see if I can move down through this door. Yeah, this is a very full fort. I don't know what the population of it is, but see how much RAM Dwarf Fortress is using right now. Not that much, only 800 megs. Thousands? Yeah. The fact that I'm getting like a frame every 18 seconds is impressive to me. Wonder if I can... I don't think I can travel from down here, hey? moving. Yeah, this is my big problem with adventure mode in Dwarf Fort, is how much it doesn't run half the time when you spawn into a fort. We are indeed making progress down the hallway. And who knows what Z level we're on. So just remember, chat, this is a fortress where for hundreds of years, the Demon King of the Goblins shows up and participates in their wrestling competitions. just remember that while I'm slowly crawling through this hallway. And it's not good, Ryan. I'm so mad about that game. I'm actually angry about that game. Because it locks all of the fun stuff behind a grind. And doesn't give you the sandboxes that made the previous games great. And makes you play through linear quests. So bummed out by that game. Some people might like it, but it's not what I want. Not what I want from that kind of game. Also, chat room, thank you very much to everybody who's hanging out. Can I get a round of beers in the chat? We got 55 people on a Wednesday, watching me crawl around in adventure mode in Dwarf Fortress. Cheers to you guys, and thanks for all of the tips, all the bits, and all the gift subs this month. Keeping us just under 250 subs. I do fully expect to drop pretty heavily next month. But thank you so much for keeping us up this month. Especially because I didn't get the any of the redos on those sponsorships that a lot of my teammates did. Kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. It would have been nice to play some more. 2 days I have to pay rent. But next month, my rent goes down by $300. Which is nice. Big question is, will I be able to find ramps? That's the real question. Also, I doubt they're going to have like a cool arena or anywhere where they've been performing those wrestling things. I'm expecting there to be a room that's just like full, but I haven't seen any of that yet. Probably did it in the room I came from. What makes you say that? The right ramp? Yeah, that's the problem. How do you know it's big? I've played roguelikes with ramps. They're not super common. In the middle of a raid? I mean, it's possible. Yesterday's adventure mode, when we returned to my old fortress, there was a forgotten beast on the surface murdering dwarves, and then it died. That was interesting. It was a giant insect. Don't know how it got to the surface, but it was there. I want to say Angband has ramps. Really? And you were killed leaving the... Did it run this slow? I rip your bat wings, I guess. Clean off. Sucks that you had to die in the raid on the way out of the castle, though. Oh, there's some exclamation points up there. We're hearing something. There's certainly activity in here. These hallways look like the way I design hallways. Bum ba dum bum ba dum ba dum. Me coffee's cold. Only had a few hundred population. Okay. I'll be right back, chat. I'm gonna top off my coffee and heat it back up because I got some more on the counter. And then we'll continue trying to crawl around here. But seriously, thank you very much to everybody who hangs out and supports this stream. If you want to support the stream more, I do have a Patreon where you can get cooking videos and neat sound effects. Gravy.
Cheese for everyone! NANI?!
Why? Because the density of dwarf and creature makes time move slower. It's bending the space-time continuum because of how many people are here. Is that why he wants to leave? Let me see if I can make my camera look less blown out. There we go, it's a lot better. Second I've done this, the sun's gonna go out. Like a black hole, yeah. Not sure what the red icon means. Oh, hey, there's a door. I have a feeling behind that door there's a lot of people. Kind of fits. No, but we're hearing noise, so there's people there. Still amazed that the frame rate's as good as it is. This just straight up wouldn't run on my old PC. The game would crash. There's something going on in there. I'm just gonna explore a little bit more of this floor and then we'll probably, I mean, we could either make a new adventure somewhere else in this world or go back into Legends. Or just jump into our fort. Alright, come on. Trying to go through the door. You can do it! Ah! What's in this? I'm seeing gem windows from the looks of things. Green glass alternatively. Statues. Twitch crash? I don't know, but I randomly dropped 10 viewers, so maybe. What happened to you? Let's see if I can look. No, it's a workshop. I don't know. The boy here. Siltstone statue of dwarves, craft store shops. This is a Siltstone statue of dwarves. It has an image of dwarves in Siltstone. That is a very uninteresting statue. What with that one? Hey, Stick Farmer. We're trying to find out some stuff about this faction in Adventure Mode. If anybody's just tuning in, long story short, there is a demon in charge of this faction, or that seems to have taken over this dwarven faction in this world, that since the year 14, every year participates in wrestling competitions in various dwarven fortresses, including this one. I'm not saying that we've found Dwarf Fortress WWE, but I think we found Dwarf Fortress WWE. Also, people seem to enjoy the adventure mode VODs quite a bit, so. Right, well, we found a workshop. And there's probably somebody else over there. Also, I'm not moving really slowly, it's just the frame rate. So we are moving at a snail's pace. Although I will say, game's running real well, all things considered. Who says I want to be a cursed beast, though? Probably what wrestling is based on. But a feeling it's mostly acrobatics, actually. Although this isn't like, you know, show wrestling. This is actual wrestling. Like, get naked and get oiled up and let's wrestle. Wrestling. Roman style. Doo-doo-doo. I lost you after the oil. That's how they did it back then. Should look it up. The OG Wrestling Olympics was a thing. How goes the crossbow training? Anander, we're actually in adventure mode. So this is a world that I generated as background footage for a video. The video where I talk about why I don't use DF Hack. It's up on my YouTube channel. You can go watch it if you like. I generated a world as background footage for it, and I wanted to explore it a little bit. It's a very dead, evil world, and this dwarven faction seems to have not a king, but it seems to have been taken over by goblins, and there is a demon that travels around participating in wrestling competition in all the dwarven forts. So I wanted to go poke around the dwarven fort to see if I could find anything interesting, and it's running at about a frame a second, but. Probably. I mean, I don't know. Probably. Probably somewhere. Interesting indeed, yes. Also, if you hear random beeping, I'm not dying. The fire alarm's just going off. They're doing fire alarm testing today, and it's been pretty infrequent. It happened twice in 10 minutes once, but it's been pretty infrequent, so it's not too bad. Or we're working through it. And according to Chad, it's not too loud, so. Just prior warning. But traditional Olympic wrestling. Ancient Greek Olympics. It was the most popular organized sport in ancient Greece. A point was scored when one player touched the ground with his back or hip or shoulder. One particularly important form of wrestling is the yeah, it was done naked and they would put oil on themselves. On Wikipedia. Greek wrestling. That's how I imagine Dwarf Fortress wrestling to be. They cover themselves in rock nut oil. See you in like an hour or so? I should still be on. If you lurk, it's appreciated. If you don't, that's fine too. Bum bum ba dum ba dum ba dum ba dum. Cheers, Anonymous. I don't know, Chad. Should we continue this or should I settle somewhere else with a different explorer? What do you think? Try and find one with a smaller population. You want to go to New Roof? All right, let's look into New Roof. I had a pipe organ? No, I'm pretty sure it's the Night in the Woods soundtrack, but sure. Kind of sounds like an 8-bit pipe organ. More like an accordion to me, though. More like an accordion. All right, I like just being a, let's just roll up a very similar character. We're gonna be a peasant goblin. Same faction. We're gonna check out New Roof. Several hundred live here. So New Roof. Paddlestrap was another one that I saw. The Goblin King. Keelrack was another one that I saw them participating in fights in. We're gonna go to New Roof. All right, where the hell's reading? I just want to go into a tavern and tell some jokes. We're an adequate comedian. Novice dancer. Adequate singer. And cease. An adequate reader. There we go. I'm gonna give us a point in strength, point in spatial sense, point in linguistics abilities. Her hair is extremely long and her teeth are tangled. She is average in size and her broad ears have large hanging lobes. Her slightly wide-set eyes are narrow and she has a very low cheekbones. She has a round chin and her head is short. Her hair is lavender and her skin is dark olive. Can you actually read the jokes? Yes. She personally thinks the quest for knowledge is a dismal fantasy and doesn't respect society that has settled into harmony without debate and strife. She dreams of crafting a masterwork someday. She is very comfortable around others that are different from herself. She dislikes abstract discussions and would much rather focus on practical examples. She feels strong urges and she seeks short-term rewards, and she is prone to respond to emotional appeals. She's sometimes cruel, and she does not go out of her way to help others. Doesn't mind a little tumult and discord in day-to-day living, and she likes to brawl. She does not have a great aesthetic sensitivity. And I guess investments are one. I was like, I glanced over chat and it's moving real fast. I was like, what the fuck happened? Yeah. She's quick to anger and does not easily fall in love. Does not really develop positive sentiments, has a sense of duty, and she tends to hang on to grievances. She is rarely happy or enthusiastic, and she is conflicted by this, since she values parties and merrymaking in the abstract. All right, let's go. And I'm just gonna do what I always do. Let's bring a little bit more food. Pond grabber kidney, gross. And raise macaw water skin. More food. In case we decide to go for a walk. And I don't need any pets. And we are settling in New Roof. Take a look at New Roof. Ooh, we are in a pit. You finally got your equipment together. Such as it is, time for action and adventure. In the rush of excitement, you've forgotten where you are and where you are going. 'Tis indeed small pit. Perhaps some of your friends can help you. There is a lot of things in this pit.
NANI?
I don't know how to go upstairs. I thought that it was... Okay, hold on. I need to look at the controls again. Adventure mode hotkeys. Yeah, what a nice place this is indeed. I thought that it was ascend or descend. Am I not on the staircase? It's not letting me go up the stairs. Hmm. There's a... I mean, there's stairs right underneath me. There we go. Is that literally new roof? Just a hole in the ground. Huh. Well, it's certainly new. Hold on. Let's see if we can go down. There's dwarves panicking in here. I mean, I would be too. I mean, sure you can call them a joke. Oh, there we go. There is more here. A lot of dwarves just like, it's definitely a dwarven helix. Let's go somewhere over here. I'm going to begin performing. I'm going to recite a poem. And he sang Adventure. And we sang Birth. And you sang Epidemics. Ever Onward, Artifacts. Artifacts is an example of the eviscerated knife. The work has no particular subject, and the writing is fairly cheerful. It manages an artful inclination, and then there is of childish material. Overall, the poetry is passable. I am performing. I am done performing. Let's recite another poem. A cheerful story, yes. And you sang Epidemics. It just seems timely. Is an example of the raw beards. The work has no particular subject. The writing is rapidly shifts between topics. Overall, the poetry is masterful. Raw beards is a light poetic form intended to describe the hunt, and originating in the Spider of Controllers, which is a goblin faction. The poem has two sects. Oh, I don't need to read all that. We're now performing. You begin reciting the poem. You sang Epidemics. You recite it, you enunciate poorly. Oh no. You conclude your performance. The dwarf herbalist Aban. I saw a goblin recite, and you sang Epidemics. I feel some delight. Oh, in your freeways? I got elected? Haven't I just been repeatedly getting elected? I'm assuming I'm just like in charge of making you do menial tasks for my dwarf constantly now. I'm quite okay with this, to be honest. All right, well, see what else we can find around here. My dwarf really likes rings. Do I keep making you make rings in your fortress? Assuming them's be horses. A stray horse, eh? Oh, there's more over here. These are kind of interesting. There's also a trapdoor over here. We should try that. Oh, this one actually has like a little bit of space down here. I mean, that's not like me at all. Real life, I'm just like, get rid of this shit. All right, let's try dancing. Begin a performance. Dance. Amber ever onward. He sang Mead's appearances. You begin to perform. I'm waiting turns. It hasn't told me that, like, it concluded my performance or anything. Tell another story. Or no, let's say more poetry. Begin performance. Recite a poem. And we sang Birth. Let's do this one again because it's masterful. Performing. Begin reciting the poem, and you sang Epidemics. You conclude your performance. I saw a goblin sing you. I'm making all the dwarves happy. They feel some delight. I do wonder what a goblin's singing voice would sound like. Like that. I don't know about that. Pick. Ooh. Lots of little leaves. So they're growing like fruits and vegetables on the roofs of these. Let's go here and begin another performance. Let's perform some music. Sang Seals. He sang Guts. We sang Guts as an example of the goldenrod verse. The work has no particularly subject, and it has selected. The composer has selected trees and idle stench as the topics. And then okay, so the sustand is a huge stationary percussion instrument. It consists of an hourglass stone drum with a leather head. The musician strikes the head of the instrument and produces a complex sound that cannot be said for a single pitch. The instrument has a broad, muddy timbre. So we're occupied. Look at this. They're joining us. The dwarf butcher says to the dwarf mechanic Godin, I don't really want to know. There's a whole lot of talking going on. I am concentrating on something. Maybe I give up too early sometimes. We're still performing. There is some panicking going on back there, or like depressed dwarves. Seems like we're done. A goblin performed, we sang Guts. It is interesting. And another dwarf is not interested. Well, we're doing our best. This is cozy. All right, so close by to the east the southeast, there's another fort. Event occurred. It's common knowledge where you're from. Okay. Where should we head to? There's a tower close by. Monastery. Ashdome, the fort. More monasteries. Human Hamlet, Dark Pits. Always makes you kind of sad. I mean, it's that kind of music, right? We could go to Climax Handles, the Hillocks, although that's pretty far away. Always wondered why these... let's go to Abbey... I don't know, chat. Where do you guys want to go? What do you think? Channel Deer seems real close. I don't want to go to a tower. I don't want to just die. Okay, last time I ask you. Where we go? Like, why do you want me to just kill my adventurer? I mean, it's gonna happen anyway, but like... Let's try and walk around this mountain range first. One little goblin. I don't know if it's friendly or not. I'm not gonna go to it. Okay, so we've made it to Fated Chapter. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a friendly tower or not. It's gonna have zombies, and zombies will just attack me. Hello, dwarves. I am little friendly singing goblin. I'm here to sing. He sang seals. Let's find something that's masterful. This one is masterful, and he sang seals. Okay, so we're going to chant. I mean, I'd need to find an entertainer group to join. And that would also require talking to people. I mean, we could try and recruit people. Low cheekbones farmer, sunken eyes farmer. Jutting chin animal trainer, milker. I don't know. Let's try. Let's go somewhere that's not a Hillocks. See, where are some of the roads that we could? We head up. Bunch of human settlements over there. Home Flack, the Steps land. Whoa. Deserty around here. That's a road. Kind of looks like a road. Let's follow it. Oh, there we go. We found some humans. Uh-oh. Some humans fighting. Fighting in the streets, it seems. A fat gem cutter. Ooh, he's been beaten pretty bad. Got a silver carving knife. I don't know, they seem pretty passive so far. There's definitely somebody getting beaten in the streets. Also a well there. Oh, hello, we fell in a hole. Looking around for a tavern. Human architect. Interesting. Walk in here and tell a story. A person or creature? Sure. I'm telling a story. You begin telling the story of the appointment of the dwarf Dodek Manor Clenched to the position of militia commander in the Cloister of Creation in the year 550. You stumble over the details. Continue talking. You're telling the tale quite well. You conclude your performance. Talk with the architect. Greet listener. Greetings, my name is Monom Boltzfell. The human architect. Hello, goblin. I am Vispol. Do I have a story to tell? Ask favor, request to make demand. Investigate or interrogate. Ask listener to join you. Join me on my adventures. I would rather not. Fair enough. What kind of neat little human posings. All right, where does this door go? Oh, to the other side. Okay. So yeah, they're like built into the little underground areas. Basically hobbit holes. I wonder what that one guy out here did to... How deep their well is. The only military join you? No one was able to get a bard to follow me. All right, well, let's continue traveling. Although it's gonna be dark soon. Just because the sun's going down, we need to find somewhere to sleep. Oh, hey. We made it to Paddle Strap. Hello, moonwalking. How you doing? Oh, there's a dwarf over there. River appears to be frozen. Actually, we seem to have discovered a frozen waterfall. It is. Falls down. Also, the sun is going down. Let's go rest underneath this tree. Wait. We're doing a little bit of adventure mode, and then we're going to jump into the fort. Stunned. You regain consciousness. Oh, I know. Cute little waterfall. And your point being? Hello, Hayes. How you doing today? Monasteries around here. Yeah, what's your point? Like, yeah, if an apple falls on your head, it hurts. And? Streamer is alright. So, I mean, Streamer always has things to complain about, but Streamer woke up early and made tomato soup. Can't wait to eat that for dinner. Yeah, Streamer's had good stream so far. How is chat, actually? How we all doing out there? Oh, if it does in this game. Oh, I thought you were stating it as fact. I have no idea. Civic Mound, Castle Mound, Helix. A little bit more framey here. Extra 4 days. So are you enjoying your time off, Cyrlac, or are you just bored? This is a big ass area for Helix. All right, let's go into the middle of here. We're talking. Let's just go back here. Let's sing again. He sang ships, he sang guts, veils, drinks, onward. Beatles and nothing more. Brunch. Let's sing about brunch. Brunch is an example of the trumpets of sweetness. The work has no particular subject. For lyrics, the composer has selected both breath, mauve. Overall, the composition is masterful. A lot of activity in that room up there. Oops. They're talking about me. A lot of dwarves in there. Ooh. Bunch of pedestals. Sunken eyes, goblin child. In a performance. Perform music. And he sang guts. Shames, veils, whim, ashes, and the drinks. The composition is atrocious. Why would I sing an atrocious song? Cavity and the barbarous and the barbus pigs. Chaos and nothing more. It must have been Buster's. Grizzle and the Dump. Grizzle and the Dump is an example of the Sienna luxuries. The work has no particular subject. For lyrics, the composer has selected We See Freedom. Overall, the composition is masterful. I am performing or singing Grizzle and the Dump. You begin your musical composition, the musical composition Grizzle and the Dump. You enter a simple passage. And a simple passage. You sing sloppily. You sing sloppily. I mean, I had to just because of the name. We're still singing. They don't seem to be too interested in joining us. Large patrol walking around. You conclude your performance. Yeah, they didn't seem to take much interest. Discover a river. Hey, look, a cute little bridge. Yeah, lots of patrols walking around. It's almost cheating, I feel like, but it's nice to be a goblin and not have to eat. Hey. Yeah, let's travel again. Actually, hold on. Direct north, there's another dwarven fort. Yeah, nope, goblins are, oh, those are dark pits. Yeah, goblins don't need to eat. They do not hunger. A big goddamn set of dark pits. Uh-oh. Find somewhere to sleep. They don't also need to drink, do they? No, they don't. Castle Mound, Drinking Hillocks, Civic Mound, Hillocks. I don't know. I've never played an elf. Seems like heresy. What I wanted. Yeah, there really isn't too much more up this way. Is that a volcano? I wonder. So I don't seem to be able to... Need new game to play. What kind of game? What kind of game are you looking for? Spooky area. Just, I want to know if that's a volcano. Okay, I do need to sleep. And sleep. Kind of surprised I haven't been ambushed yet. Sim or RPG? I've heard a lot of good things about Underrail. To the point where I've almost picked it up on multiple occasions. There's a dark fortress up north. Another human helix down there. I don't know, we haven't found too much of interest in most of those towns. Might just, you know, put this adventurer to rest. Gone on some cute little adventures. Underrail, yeah. No, Unreal World is a roguelike. What are you talking about? Hello, DeBerries. I can give you a link if you want, Starlight. Potato salad? Ooh. Yeah, let's just get this goblin back to one of the dwarven helixes and we'll call it, I think. And then we'll go back to just playing Normie. Normie DF. Good old-fashioned normal dwarf fort. Oh, it's pouring rain. I wanted to see how big this river was. Pretty. Kind of need to head like on a diagonal. Yes, please, to the link. Yeah, I can get. I'll get you a link to the game that I'm talking about. Constructing a new PC. Pictures when it's done, please. Mana's on the wish list. Gotcha. Actually, yeah, we'll just go this way. Castle Mound and Helix. We'll stop here. And we'll perform again. Maybe I can perform well this time. We'll stand right here. We're going to begin a performance and we're going to perform music. We'll play Sing Pillars. And it requires a huge stationary instrument that consists of an hourglass drum. Very drowsy, but we're performing. Sometimes I just don't like somebody, says the low cheekbones dwarf farmer. A lot of conversations going on, but we got dwarves joining in with the song. Uh-oh. Farmer's become enraged. Well, they kind of laughed at my songs. There's a whole lot of ha ha ha, you're so funny. Wasn't really the intent though. Let's perform some more music. Do the same one. They immediately join us. I saw a goblin perform icing pillars, and it is interesting. All right, let's retire this adventure. That was fun. Just kind of poking around that world a bit. We did just discover